So we've got a couple mallets here. This one I use for driving chairs, driving in small wedges. Maybe a whole. I could use this for chair assembly the whole way. Sometimes I use a bigger one for legs to get the leg wedge to go in. But for arms and rails, I'll use this, or for small tapping. I make these mallets. I like a square mallet instead of a round mallet. This one's a little bit bigger, a little more force, and a nice wide chisel. You want to keep an eye on the grain. As I'm coming down in this, it looks like it's splitting up. If it starts to dive, you want to start coming from the other direction. But since it's coming up, I can just keep going on this. And I'm going to stay away from my beginning line, the end line, and I'm going to stay away from the land line until I get closer. And I'll probably resharpen this chisel before I get to the, and I won't do that every time, but this hasn't been sharpened in a while, and I need to be able to finish this cut. I need to be able to push the chisel to finish that cut, and I'm having a little, it's not too bad, but it would be easier, so I get a nice smooth finish. It would be easier and smoother if this was super sharp, so I want to sharpen that. But I'm going to get rid of some wood first. You can see it's pretty quick. This is cherry. You can make a pencil post in almost any wood. I've done them in maple and cherry, really. That's all I've done. Mostly cherry. This bed's going to have a natural finish, oil, and I'm about to build another one. I've got the post roughed out for a painted bed. Milk paint over cherry, and the cherry will come through a little bit, so it'll have a nice warm look. Now, I'm not going to finish this yet because I have to get in here with the power plane. So I just want enough room to be able to get my plane in here. And that's really done. I probably don't need quite that much, but that's done, and then I'll do all 4 of those, and then we'll do the power plane. So there's a roughed out post. On this facet, I highlighted the scribe lines with pencil so that you can see that I stayed away from the line. This one I stayed away a little more, but a little high spot here. Better to, especially up at this end, better not to get too crazy. It's easy to make mistakes when you're coming across with the plane. So leave that high and you can finish it with a hand plane. It'll go very quickly. And so I'll do all these, and then we'll attack them with the hand plane, which is the fun part. So the post has been roughed out with a power planer, and now I need to finish the lamb's tongue and bring everything down to the scribe lines. So I'm going to start with a 1-inch chisel with the bevel down. And I'm going to choke right up on it. I usually start on one side or the other and try to get a graceful curve. I don't come all the way up to the end so that I'm cutting less. I can make that curve nice and graceful. A lot of pressure. I've got this chisel right up against my chest. Now as I'm getting closer, I can move toward my finish line up here. So kind of do the outsides, then the inside. So best to be very careful on these. You don't want to go below that landing line, or else you'll have a wobble in your line going up the post. And you'll see that. So best to stay just off that line for now. And you want the curve to be great. You don't want to go down and then have to shoot straight at the line. So, there may be a few little bumps there. You want to be symmetrical here. You can clean this a little bit with a cabinet scraper, but you want to skew it so that you don't create crossways grooves in it. And but be careful with the scraper. You can bend it to get into the center if you have high parts there. But be careful. You'll also be sanding these, so that may take out some of the roughness.